Hello and welcome to the 2020 AER conference and today's session. Before we begin, we're going to do a few housekeeping announcements. As a reminder, all conference content can be found on our online platform. This includes links to streaming content, on-demand sessions, speaker materials, and much more. As a reminder, make sure that you're logged into the site in order to access all content. If you experience technical difficulties during the session, please review the help desk page on our online platform to see if you can troubleshoot the issue. We also encourage you to review the technical requirements section of the conference attendee homepage in order to make sure that your system is aligned properly. There are many ways to engage during the sessions. Use the discussion tab in order to comment with one another, our speakers, or our staff, and use the questions tab to submit questions directly to speakers. And finally, we'd like to thank our conference supporters and exhibitors for their support of this year's event. Please make sure to visit them in the virtual exhibit hall where you can learn more about the products and services they provide. Some vendors are also participating in video chat and offering giveaways. We especially want to thank our event supporters, our Diamond supporters, Advara, iMedris, and WCG IRB, our Platinum supporter, Tech Software, our Silver supporter, Cayuse and PRIM&R, and our Bronze supporters, the City Program and WCG IRB Net. And with that, I'll turn it over to today's speakers. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the conference. As the chair of PRIM&R's Board of Directors, I'm honored to be here with you today. PRIM&R board members work with the Executive Director, Dr. Elisa Hurley, in ensuring that PRIM&R stays on track to meet its goals in advancing the highest ethical standards in the conduct of biomedical, behavioral, and social science research. We also help to support the various committees that allow PRIM&R to complete its mission. Now, although we all would rather meet in person to have those scholarly and somewhat spirited conversations about research ethics and to do a little bit of networking, I'm sure we all appreciate the efforts taken by the planning committees and PRIM&R staff in making this virtual conference come to life. As the first African American board chair of PRIM&R, I'm proud that one of PRIM&R's core values is diversity. This is clearly indicated in the many public policy statements and comments found on PRIM&R's website and various social media platforms and publications. When you get a chance, take a look at PRIM&R's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion page at primr.org/diversity. Now a little bit about me. Although I primarily work in the animal subjects world, I'm somewhat familiar with human subjects research and oversight protections. In the 1960s, my great-uncle was one of the first African Americans in Cleveland, Ohio, to successfully undergo a kidney transplant. Although I was just a child, I do remember hearing stories about conversations my family had with the doctors, ensuring them that previous studies proving that organ transplantation and antibiotics and anti-rejection meds that my great-uncle would have to take the rest of his life were actually safe. Ironically, about 20 years later, when my career was just starting at Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, Ohio, I worked as a research assistant for a transplant surgeon. One of my responsibilities was to help enroll transplant patients in clinical trials. Although I enjoyed that aspect of my work, as a microbiologist content with working at a lab bench, I never saw myself on that career path. During that job, that's when I first heard the term clinical trials, so I assumed that the studies that I heard about in the 60s indeed fit the criteria to be designated as human clinical trials. My other responsibilities in the Department of Surgery involved working with animal subjects. This was during the time that animal welfare regulations requiring board review for animal studies were being enacted. We now know those review boards as IACUCs, Institutional Animal Care and Use Committees. Although as animal researchers, we always considered the ethics of using animals when we designed our research studies, because of these new animal welfare regulations, we were now required to provide certain justifications to use animals and to perform potentially painful procedures on animals for review by the IACUC. IACUC members such as veterinarians, non-scientists, lay members, and other animal researchers would review and comment on our protocols, providing much needed feedback and approval. Now, as I look back on my professional career, I've seen how animals contribute to the development of procedures and therapies that benefit both humans and animals. And I've also seen how human clinical trials translate into procedures, therapies, and medical devices. Based on my past experience and my current day-to-day interactions with clinicians submitting human gene transfer studies to the Institutional Biosafety Committee, I'm keenly aware that individuals who design these studies could not do so alone. They receive support from individuals like yourself, research coordinators, IRB administrative staff, IRB members, and many others. These individuals work together in ensuring that protections are at the forefront when planning research studies that involve human and animal studies. So, on behalf of my family and the PRIM&R Board of Directors, I just want to thank you all for what you do. And now, I'm pleased to present this year's Arena Legacy Award. The Arena Legacy Award was developed to honor not only the chosen individual, but also the living legacy created by the Applied Research Ethics National Association, ARENA, which was the membership division of PRIM&R from 1986 to 2006. One of ARENA's many important contributions was to encourage the advancement of those individuals working in the field in order to promote professional excellence and ultimately contribute to a more ethical research enterprise. The Arena Legacy Award is intended to keep those ideas alive by honoring individuals who both embody and consistently foster professional leadership, education, and mentoring. On behalf of PRIM&R, I'm pleased to announce that the recipient of this year's Arena Legacy Award is Linda Mayo, the director of the HRPP at the University of New Mexico. Linda has worked in human research protections for over 17 years. She is a site visitor, team leader, and Step 1 reviewer for AHRP. Linda has been actively involved in work on incidental findings in research. She conducted NIH-funded research at the MIND Research Network, focusing on the ethics of returning incidental findings in neuroimaging research, and has co-authored several publications on incidental findings. Linda has been a PRIM&R member since 2004. She's been a speaker for PRIM&R's SBER and AER conferences since 2016, and in 2018, she was a faculty member for PRIM&R's Implementing the Revised Common Rule Workshop and for the AER Pre-Conference Program, Critical Topics in SBER. Linda has also served on PRIM&R's conference planning committees for the 2017 and 2019 SBER conferences and the Workshop Didactic Subcommittee for the 2018 AER conference. In 2016, Linda and fellow PRIM&R member Cecilia Brooke Cholka approached PRIM&R about starting an SBER network, a collaborative of IRB professionals that focuses on the unique issues and challenges of ethical oversight of SBER. Since then, the SBER network has grown to be an active, lively virtual community of over 450 PRIM&R members. Linda and Brooke continue to co-facilitate the network, working with the PRIM&R staff to plan periodic virtual roundtables and on-site events at the SBER and AER conferences. Here's a comment from one of Linda's colleagues. Linda supports her staff not only through professional development within IRB work, but also encourages them to work towards their own goals, including learning leadership skills, earning a degree, and anything else that is meaningful to them. She enjoys supporting new professionals as they discover and develop their passion for IRB work and inspires them to take on opportunities that match their interests and strengths. She supports creative approaches to IRB work and is willing to try new things and take risks with an eye towards reducing researcher burden and increasing participant protections. PRIM&R is grateful to Linda for her contributions to the organization and the field of human subjects research oversight. And it's our great honor to present Linda with this year's Arena Legacy Award. Congratulations, Linda. I'll now turn it over to Linda.
Thank you, Natalie, and thank you, PRIM&R, for selecting me for this amazing award. I was very surprised and quite emotional when I received the email from Alyssa notifying me that I was receiving the award. It caused me to take a positive moment out of what's been a horrible year to reflect on my career in human research protections and all of the wonderful colleagues and mentors that I've met along the way. I was very fortunate to start my IRB career in an office that supported education and professional growth. I believe my first PRIM&R conference was in 2004. It was in San Diego, and I was so excited to go to my first professional conference. When I got there, I was thrilled to learn that AER was committed not only to the protection of human subjects in research, but also committed to helping each other and supporting each other, even if it's over a glass of wine in the lobby bar. I can't even tell you how many individuals I have met through the years who were or are one-person IRB offices, and they tugged at my heart and organically turned me into something of a mentor, passing my business card along and keeping in touch with them over the years. I'd like to give a shout out to a few specific individuals who impacted my career. Dr. Bill Reed, he is the now retired executive director, executive chair of the UNM Health Science Center IRB, who has become a lifelong friend and mentor. Gary Secco, an early mentor of mine who is now at the Mayo Clinic, who believed in me and encouraged me early in my career. And of course, Brooke Troka, who stumbled into the IRB world much like myself and was critical in relighting the fire in me when I returned to the field full-time in 2015. We were both passionate about education and community, and with the support of PRIM&R, we co-founded the SBR network. It continues to grow, and we've created what I hope to be a continued resource and a lasting legacy for SBR professionals. I'd also like to thank my current staff at UNM. They always amaze me with their passion for their work and their genuine support for each other and for the UNM research community. And finally, to all the young IRB professionals out there, know that there is a career path for you in human research protections. Keep learning, keep supporting each other, and keep fighting the good fight. Thank you very much.